Over the years, Twitch has become a major fixture in games-related content. Some streamers on the platform will take content from Twitch, trim it down, and post it on places like YouTube. If you want to see how a game plays in real time, you can watch streamers play it and see if it's something you want to buy, making it a huge asset for consumer protections. But starting a few weeks back with a clip from Asmongold, we would go down a rabbit hole on how Twitch selectively enforces their community guidelines to let anti-American and anti-Semitic streamers ignore the rules. My name is Ojiro, been a game developer for a bit over 15 years. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Hope you enjoy the content. And for those of you that are back, welcome back. I've picked up a new mic, so my voice should be a little clearer, so I'm sorry. And I've got a haircut so that I don't look quite as homeless in my videos. Let's start off with a clip from Asmongold that went viral regarding statements on the conflict in Gaza. This would be the first of two major events that would start a firestorm in the worst of Twitch. I'm going to play the clip that went viral in its entirety, and we are going to go over the community guidelines section that would result in his ban.
If you want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people. It's not even a question. It's crazy that people don't see it that way. They'd be doing the same thing. And how much did they kill? As many as they can. They're not able to kill as many people as Israel because they don't have as many bombs and as many weapons. But if they did, they'd be doing the same thing. That's it. Just takes enough. That's right. These people are not your allies. They are not the same as us. They come from an inferior culture that is horrible. It kills people for their identity, and it is directly antithetical to everything Western values stand for, and it is an inferior culture in all ways. It is that simple. No, I don't feel bad for them. I don't feel sorry for them. I don't care. I don't support them.
Asmongold would apologize, saying he was speaking too harshly and that he should have directed his statements towards religious extremists instead of Palestinians. But this apology would still land him with a 2-week ban under the section for civility and respect, hateful conduct. Twitch does not permit behavior that is motivated by hatred, prejudice, or intolerance, including behavior that promotes or encourages discrimination, denigration, harassment, or violence based on the following protected characteristics: race, ethnicity, color, caste, national origin, immigration status, religion, sex, gender identity, sexual orientation, disability, serious medical condition, and veteran status. The community at large would immediately start making comparisons with Asmongold's statements to some by the Twitch darling Hasan Piker, but these complaints wouldn't get traction yet. The second major event wouldn't come from Twitch. It would come from the Gaza Strip. On October 17th, Yahya Sinwar, the leader of Hamas, was killed by the IDF. And while any normal person would be happy to see the leader of a terrorist organization being no longer able to terrorize civilians anymore, one Twitch streamer felt differently. Frogan would share her feelings on the news in a clip that would go viral.
I have no pity at all for any fucking soldiers. Distress, thank you so much. I will never have any fucking pity for any fucking soldiers. U.S. military? Boo fucking who? I hope you get PTSD. You know? I do the ones I'm like whatever about the U.S. soldiers are the ones that like acknowledge that like what they did was wrong. They didn't know back then. Whatever. You're a good person in my book. I'm like a Tom. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted. So the U.S. military that are like, yeah, like, you know, I did this back then, but now I know it's wrong. Like, I'm changed. Like, fuck imperialism. Fuck this. You don't deserve the PTSD. But like any other motherfucker, you're doing them. You're like, oh my god, I want my fucking Camaro, no student loans. Fuck you. I hope you get PTSD. And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America.
These truly vile statements would lead to an immediate and universal condemnation in social media, with people calling for her ban under the same section that Asmongold was banned under. Frogan would put out a half apology on Twitter and then walk it back almost immediately on stream.
Yes, but like any other motherfucker, you're joining them. You're like, oh my god, I want my fucking Camaro, no student loans. Fuck you. I hope you get PTSD. And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America. And they posted it in my head. I'm like, based? Based? Like, am I supposed to be like I'm not walking back on it. I still fucking agree with it. Based?
While Asmon would be banned in less than 24 hours, it would take about 4 days for Twitch to ban Frogan and 3 other streamers, but not for her vile statements against veterans. She would confirm it was, in her words, saying people like bottom of the barrel hummus, along with the same section that Asmon was banned for. Zach Busey, someone that covers news for streamers, confirmed the ban was related to a panel that was produced and published by Twitch at TwitchCon San Diego a month earlier. In this panel, Frogan along with 3 other streamers rate their fellow streamers on a scale from Arab for good or likes Sabra for bad. They insist that they're just talking about Sabra hummus, but Sabra is Hebrew for Jew born in Israel. So by loves Sabra, they mean Jew lover. So this is simply a very thinly veiled attempt to say Arab good, Jew lover bad. And this kind of behavior out of individuals like Frogan is not unique to anti-Semitism. In the month before this panel, Frogan would set donation goals on her channel. And let's have Frogan explain one of those donation goals in her own words.
Okay, $62.50, 9/11 baking stream with Raf and Capri. If we get to this goal by 9/11, Capri, Raf, and I will make the Twin Towers out of a stacked cake, and we'll make an airplane, and we'll recreate 9/11.
So Frogan wanted to recreate 9/11 in cake form, and Twitch still decided to have her and Team Anti-America get the spotlight at TwitchCon, where Twitch produced an anti-Semitic tier list starring people that hate America with the logos for Capcom, Samsung, and Chevron in the background. It would take a month and the Anti-Defamation League to get involved for Twitch to enforce its own community guidelines against clearly anti-American and anti-Semitic content creators. But these creators are relatively small compared to the #1 person on their tier list, Hasan Piker. After Frogan and the crew were banned, a lot of online discourse would shift towards Hasan and how Twitch consistently permits truly vile content out of his channel.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much.
And don't worry, his approval of violence against women doesn't stop against the Jewish people.
They were, at least Patrick Henry College is like doing one good thing, which is that, like, if you have these fucking millionaire, billionaire WASP fail sons, at least taking them out of other colleges so they can only do date rape to other billionaire, millionaire failed daughters is, like, in some respects, you know, from a utilitarian perspective, of course, a little bit better. You know what I mean? Like, taking these guys and putting them in a pen with one another is ultimately getting them away from the broader society.
Teaching.
Why is it okay for violence against women at Patrick Henry College? Because Patrick Henry College is a Christian conservative college. And violence is a-okay if it is against the people that you disagree with. You would think this kind of talk would fall under the community guidelines section for hateful conduct, which claims it will treat all instances of hateful conduct equally. Well, unless it's for content creators that hate Americans or Jews.
Her Democrat says she's undecided because of concerns about anti-Semitism. Beth?
Yes!
Hi, thank you for being here.
Thank you
For remembering we need to bring the hostages home. Of course. The rise of anti-Semitism and violence from anti-Semitism has risen greatly on college campuses and on our city streets in the last year.
But now let's focus on another area of the community guidelines: terrorism and violent extremism. Twitch does not allow content that depicts, glorifies, encourages, or supports terrorism or violent extremist actors or acts. For example, you may not display or link terrorist or extremist propaganda, including graphic pictures or footage of terrorists or extremist violence, even for the purpose of denouncing such content. But why would we need to talk about the section for terrorism and violent extremism? Isn't that something that anyone can see and say is bad and should not be glorified?
Oh, you want to see a Houthi musical?
Sure.
These were the people that the Saudis were killing, by the way, just so you know. These fucking musically gifted individuals.
Yeah. In a video of, what do you mean a music video? When you said music video, I'm expecting like, bad example, Chris Brown dancing, you know.
No. They do like,
What is
they do
this?
musicals. They're very musical people.
Are
No,
you being serious?
Dog, what do you, look, you think I made
This isn't music. I know they're singing, but I'm seeing just guns and shit. This isn't a music video, Hasan.
No, it is. They do musicals about like their fucking like their actions all the time. And they love walking over. They love walking over like the American flag and the Israeli flag side by side. They will always like march on it.
Despite Twitch saying that they do not approve you to show this kind of content and glorify it, here we have one of their streamers doing just that. This should be the easiest ban in the history of Twitch, but they don't care. Hasan would go and interview one of the Houthi pirates that boards ships and takes their crew hostages at gunpoint. And in that interview, he would ask some hard-hitting questions.
Hey, you can preface it with that. Does he know what One Piece is?
أول شيء بقول لك إنه ممكن هذا السؤال يكون شوي أهبل، بس بسألك تعرف شو هو ون بيس؟ عمرك سمعت بون بيس؟
أكيد يعني منذ الطفولة وأنا أشاهد ون بيس لوفي.
Luffy?
Yeah, he said he's been watching it since he was a kid.
No way!
Yeah.
For those of you that are unaware, One Piece is an anime where it centers around the pirate Monkey D. Luffy. The long-running anime series, it has, as a recording, over 1,100 episodes. He would spend the whole interview chatting away with his terrorist and laughing it up. In fact, right before Asmongold was banned, Hasan would get on a call with Asmon, and we would hear how Hasan views these savages.
I talked to a teenager from Yemen, okay, who everyone called, myself included, called Timothy Charlemagne or Chalamet.
Is that the One Piece one?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now this kid is like, I think he was like 19 at the time when I talked to him, which means that for most of his life he has withstood genocide, right? Like he is a person whose only experience is like, it's literally like talking to fucking Anne Frank, basically. Okay, being able to talk to Anne Frank in real time.
Anne Frank was a teenage girl trying to survive the Holocaust with her family, only to be captured and killed in the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp. She would leave behind a diary of her experiences in hiding. Anne Frank is nothing like these savages that are taking people hostage. These people do not care what flag you have in your bio. They don't care if you stopped buying things from Starbucks or McDonald's. If you are the West, you are the enemy. They don't care. One would think this would be a very clear list of bannable offenses, especially when contrasted to what Asmongold said. Until you read an article from April 2023 where the CEO of Twitch, Dan Clancy, admits he mostly watches Hasan. And it's not limited to the CEO either. Earlier this year, Twitch headquarters would sing happy birthday to Hasan.
Happy birthday to you.
What the fuck?
Happy birthday to you.
Bro, we're never beating the Hasan runs Twitch allegations after this. This is crazy. Oh my God. Like the most rabid Redditors just clip this and they're going to be like, The most rabid Redditors just clip this, and they're going to use this permanently to be like, see, I told you, he's got banning powers.
Happy birthday, dear Hasan.
This is crazy.
Happy birthday to you.
So, Twitch. Currently, Twitch has about 900 employees after they laid off about 500 earlier this year. Like a great many tech companies, their headquarters is based out of San Francisco. Twitch has two major revenue sources. First is to sell subscriptions to partnered streamers, starting at $5.99 on their website, but $7.99 on mobile to account for the 30% cut that various app stores take. The second is playing ads on stream. You can also do things like buying bits to give to streamers or get Twitch Turbo, but I'm not sure that those are as big of a revenue stream for Twitch. A major part of selling ads on a website is that you need to ensure to the people that run the ads that they have a guarantee on the content that they have on their site. An easy example is most advertisers will not run ads on adult websites. Most advertisers don't really care as much where their ads run as long as the app or the website doesn't have a bad reputation that could harm the brand. An advertiser would be able to review the community guidelines to ensure that certain content that would potentially harm their brand is not on the platform. Advertisers expect the platforms to enforce their own rules even-handedly so they don't have their brands dragged into scandal. Advertisers really do not like having ads for their products displayed next to content that supports extremism or racism. When Elon purchased Twitter in late 2022 and adopted a free speech model where only illegal content would be banned, a lot of advertisers left the platform. Since then, some have returned, but many still don't run ads on the platform because they don't want to run their ads next to content that could potentially be extremist or racist in nature. Twitch has no problem banning streamers for even minor infractions. But in the case of streamers that have the right politics according to Twitch, you can get away with almost anything. And the right politics is far left-leaning, anti-Semitic, and anti-American. Twitch is not only allowing content that clearly breaks their own community guidelines, but ensures that Hasan, in particular, is almost always on the front page of their website, which drives extra traffic towards his particular brand of extremism, a brand that Twitch wholeheartedly supports and promotes through selective enforcement. And it's not just an issue with enforcement of the rules either. This past week, Twitch was finally forced to admit they just found out that they were blocking all users in Israel from making a Twitch account for over a year. Both the official Twitch account and the CEO would announce the mistake on Twitter only to get a community note. The community note points out how this issue has been reported by users consistently over the course of the past year. The claim from Twitch is that they initially blocked the region because they didn't want people to see war-related content, but they also didn't shut down Twitch signups in Ukraine, which has also a conflict ongoing right now. Also, their favorite streamer has no issue reacting to content from the region, so it's clearly not to protect users. Twitch has had no issues in promoting and producing anti-Semitic content at their convention, so why wouldn't they also have an issue just blocking an entire region? And while this may get a pat on the back from some folks, advertisers really don't want to see this kind of behavior. And if advertisers pull out, it is going to have a major financial impact to a lot of streamers that are on the platform. Right now, Twitch is using the strategy of do nothing and say nothing in the hopes that everything just blows over. And if people stop talking about it, advertisers, they won't care. They can go back to uneven enforcement of their rules for anti-American streamers on the platform. I've only seen one US politician really come out and say that this behavior on Twitch is bad, but I would argue that while the disdain for Hasan is justified, he leaves out what I consider to be the bigger issue, which is that Twitch is selectively enforcing their own policies so that they are promoting this kind of speech, even when it is a violation of their own community guidelines. If people keep talking about this and pointing out the inconsistencies that end up harming advertisers, then there will have to be major changes at Twitch. First off, their CEO, Dan Clancy, is going to have to go. He's harbored an environment where his company has ensured that violent extremism is given a pass as long as it is promoted by extremely far-left people on the platform. This pervasive and systemic breakdown of discipline inside their company in enforcing their own rules needs to see any leadership at that company that puts ideology over professionalism removed. But we'll see over time if Twitch is able to weather all the criticism it's receiving or if it will be forced to change. But now, in its current form, Twitch hates America. But that's all I have on this topic for now. Feel free to subscribe for other games-related content. Farewell.